Box 2. I have no idea what time it is. Yeah, I'll just turn on my computer. Find out. $9:49. All right. I do really like that Centurion card. I think it's going to end up being better than a lot of people think. All right, we got Zoma. A bunch of these commons that we've seen before. Ooh, the QCR Nightmare Apprentice. You special summon this card from your hand by discarding one card. You can only special summon one Nightmare Apprentice once per turn this way. This card battles a monster. Neither can be destroyed by that battle. This card is normal or special summon. You can add one illusion monster from your deck to your hand. This card is crazy. I'll just put this here for now. Sangan. Make a pile. All right, let's leave that up. Very cool. I don't know what the illusion deck does, but I assume that card is very good in it. A combo starter that doesn't use your normal summon. How could it be bad? Oh, wow. This is a way better start than the last box. What is this? Saphira, Divine Dragon of the Voiceless Voice. You can ritual summon this card with Blessing of the Voiceless Voice. If this card is ritual summoned while you have low on your field or in your graveyard, you can draw 2 cards and discard a card. When an attack is declared involving a light ritual monster, warrior, or dragon, you discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. That's funny. During your opponent's end phase, you can add 1 light monster from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. I don't know how good that is. Oh, lights 1 pile, breaker pile. But, I mean, getting to draw 2 and discard 1, or like a secondary one that you can make. Next to the one that they play currently. I don't remember the name of it. Alright. Skull Guardian? I think it's Skull Guardian. Ooh, Sangan Kaiman. More Tenpai commons. We'll take all of those that we can. Ashened, random Rika card. Okay, this is like the only common I haven't read. What does it do? This card battles a monster, now they can be destroyed by battle. During your opponent's turn, you can target 1 fiend or illusion monster you control, except Talons. Return it to the hand. If you do, special summon this card. Your opponent activates a card or effect that targets your card. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, return this card from the field to the hand. If you do, destroy that monster. Okay. I think it's bad, but I have no idea. Ooh, more Tenpai. Can't wait to do a count at the end of this. Tenpai all being common was kind of a nice surprise. Or common in the 2 supers. Makes the deck much more accessible than it would normally be. Lightsworn card. Turn Silence. Target 1 face-up monster you control, increase its level by 3. Also, if you activate this card and effect your opponent's monster effect activation while you control Shining Sarcophagus against a monster in the dimensions that negate that opponent's effect. Wow. Oh, so this just stops Nib. Huh. That is interesting. That is really interesting. I'm going to start putting the Shining Sarcophagus cards off to the side. They've made these. Maybe that's why over the weekend, at the beginning of the weekend of release, Gandora was like $3. And then they decided, or at some point, it went up to like 20. I don't know if it's still 20, but Pendulum Witch. Maybe it's because the deck is actually good. If this card is normal or special summon, you target one card in your pendulum zone, destroy both that target and this card. If you do, add one level 4 or lower pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Isn't that how all of these work? I thought that's just how pendulum monsters worked. Maybe I'm wrong. If a face-up, fusion, synchro, and/or exceeds monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect while this card is in the pendulum zone, you can add one pendulum monster with the same original type as one of those monsters. Seems like a combo extender. First glance, it's kind of bad, but maybe there's more to it. All right. Through all these commons. Another Harpooner. Pacha Melodious. Do I have a Memento pile yet? Oh, okay. And Tenpai. Okay. Commons, Rika, Tenpai, Shaman of the Ashen City. This is the one that's actually probably okay. If opposite him is in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon once per turn this way. Target 3 of your power monsters that are banished are in your graveyard, shuffle them to deck. Then if you shuffle an Ashen monster, you can add one opposite him from your deck to your hand. Yeah, this card is just reasonable. Lets you recycle your stuff and keep going. Probably, yeah, will end up being pretty good. If the Ashen deck is anything at all. I think the big thing that deck has going for it is that Vados is just just a good hand trap. It's like a good hand trap with upside, especially in a meta where there's a lot of field spells. What is this? When an opponent's monster declares an attack, special summon one illusion monster from your hand. I could have stopped it at when an opponent's monster declares an attack. That's terrible. Special summon an illusion monster from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, return the attacking monster to the hand. If a face-up illusion monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon one illusion monster from your hand or graveyard. Ah, okay. So the second effect is interesting. The first effect is terrible, but if you can somehow get it into the graveyard during your combo, that's like some insulation from Nibiru and whatever. It's nothing. The first effect is probably terrible. Most things that activate on attack are pretty bad. Ancient Gear Dark Golem. This card's name becomes Ancient Gear Golem while in the field or in the graveyard. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add up to 2 cards, Ancient Gear and/or Gear Town from your deck to your hand, except Ancient Gear Dark Golem, then discard 1 card. Also, you cannot set cards for the rest of this turn. They're really trying to not let you just Gear Town stuff. You can only use this effect of Ancient Gear Dark Golem once per turn. Discard attacks, your opponent cannot. Okay, wow, that's actually interesting. Let's you tutor for your Ancient Gear stuff. Let's okay. Memento Fun. Ties that bind. What on earth? If you control Shining Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions it, special summon up to 2 level 4 or lower monsters with different names that mention the Shining Sarcophagus from your hand and/or deck. Also, for the rest of this turn, after the card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck. Interesting. Put that there for now. Botcha. Couplet. A pre-damaged Fadra. Just grab some less gray sleeves here. Ties the bind. The ultras I'm looking for, I need the Yubel field spell. I think that's actually the only ultra that I need in this set. I could be wrong. Ooh, Etoile. The Melodious Magnificat. This card, quite good. Yeah, the Melodious deck I think is pretty underrated. So you can banish till the end phase any number of Melodious monsters you control. Then you return that many face-up cards, up to that many face-up cards your opponent controls to the hand. So it's protection and it bounces stuff. And then if it leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon a Melodious monster from your deck or extra deck. So it's like if they destroy it when you do that somehow, then you get to special summon a Melodious guy, which is pretty good. Another Weiss, Rika, White Lord, just a duel. And I lied. I do need another Ultra. I need the Lightsworn Dragon Link. That card is also just cool. Golgoyle, Ashened, Endlessness. Ah, haha! Speak of the devil. If you have a Lightsworn monster in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card is special summon. You can send a Lightsworn card from your deck to the graveyard. This card is sent to the graveyard. You can add one dragon monster with 3,000 attack and 2,600 defense from your deck to your hand. Just a, like, I would kind of make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh players for calling cards custom cards and archetypes, and I will continue to do so, but this card is just insane. You get to just does so much. Like it's a level 8 synchro on its own and gets you either Punishment Dragon or JD from your deck. I, of course, just want to grab JD with it, but all the decks are playing Punishment Dragon, and that makes me sad. I also need the other Lightsworn Ultra, I guess. Wow. Gold Pride Eradicator. During your opponent's turn, you can target one Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster in the field, or if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can target 2, destroy them. Wow. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, turn this card to the extra deck. And if you do, special summon one Gold Pride Eliminator from your deck or graveyard. Interesting. I don't know much about the Gold Pride combos. That seems like a pretty reasonable end board piece to end on. See, this box, we've already got 4 Ultras and a QCR. There were only 3 Ultras in the last box. Ooh, more Melodious. Memento, White Lord, Rika. Battle Guard Echoes. When this card is activated, you can add one level 5 Earth Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. Once returned, if a monster is returned from the field to the hand, even during the damage step, you can activate one of these effects. Add one Battle Guard Rage or Battle Guard Howling from your deck to your hand. Change one face-up monster on the field to face-down defense position. Oh, this card is very interesting. I think it works with that Earth Warrior from earlier that I don't remember the name of, but it does. That is just enables the combo because it puts it in the graveyard. I guess that deck seems to largely be a 2-card combo deck, which is probably bad unless it's very strong. All right, can we get maybe another one of the Tenpai Supers? That would be cool. Ragnaraka Chain Coils. This is the link 4. If your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate this effect. Neither player can activate the effects of monsters in the hand this turn. Okay, that's interesting. Wow, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one insect, plant, or reptile monster you control, place it on the bottom of the deck, and you do special on this card. So it's kind of a floodgate, a hand trap protection, and an extender. They really, that's interesting. Yeah. I really don't know how good that deck is going to be, but it's pretty cool. All right, Melodious, this guy, Ashened, oh, Ragnaraka, the Evil Seed. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending an insect or plant or reptile from your hand to the graveyard. You can only special summon once per turn this way. This card is normal or special summon. You can add to your hand up to 2 different Ragnaraka cards of yours that are banished or in your deck, except Ragnaraka the Evil Seed, then banish 1 card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon with the rest of this turn, except insect, plant, or reptile monsters. if it didn't have that clause, this would be kind of funny in like a Thunder Dragon version of the deck. But because you're locked into insects, plants, and reptiles, it's you can't do that, of course, because you're locked. But it would be cool. All right, let's see if we can get one of the Tenpai Dragon guys. Oh, Future Silence. Add one monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. If you activated this card during the battle phase while you controlled Shining Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions it, each player draws until they have 6 cards in their hand. Wow. Wow. They pushed some of these cards. Both players drawing until they have 6. I don't love giving your opponent stuff like that, but you drawing until you have 6, I do love that. And you get to add a monster that mentions Shining Sarc. Like, that's just... like, how bad could it be? I guess it could be really bad, because the deck has received no hype whatsoever, but what if, you know? What if the Yugi cards are actually good, and we're all just out here ignoring them because they're Yugi cards? Enlightenment Dragon. The Fusion. I love this card. You can banish the above monsters from your hand, from your field and graveyard. So you can control either JD or Punishment Dragon. And then once per turn, you can pay 2,000 life points, banish all other cards on the field and in the graveyards. Once per turn as a quick effect. Once per turn during your end phase, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If this card its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can add 2 of your banished monsters to your hand, a JD and 1 Punishment Dragon. You can special summon both, ignoring their summoning conditions. I love this card. I just want to play that card. No one's playing in the Lights One list right now, but it's all I want to do. It makes me very sad that, well, I don't really care that other people aren't going to play it. I'm going to play it because Lights Horns are cool. Metal Tronus. Target one face-up non-token monster your opponent controls. Special summon monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck that has 2 or more of the same type, attribute, and or attack. Negate its effects. If you do, negate the targeted monster's effects. Also, after that, if these monsters have the same name, you can banish both face down. Your opponent cannot activate the targeted monster's effects in response to this card's activation. That is interesting. That's very interesting. I'm going to put this on like a, I don't know, here. That's kind of interesting pile. One more pack. I thought we were done, but we were not. We have one more pack. One more opportunity to pull the Tenpai main deck super. Cooling Embers. And we get the Goblin Biker. It's terrible. Lets goblin monsters you control attack either once per turn. If a monster is normal or special summoned while this card is in the monster zone, you can target one of those monsters, attach one material from a monster on either field. If you do, change the targeted monster's battle position. Wow. Wow, and it negates attacks. That is just awful. You know, Goblins got some cards that you could consider to be very strong in the last set. But this set, woof. Hey, oh. They got just absolutely nothing. All right, let's see. So now, I guess we'll stack all this stuff up. Stack. Put it in the probably going to use this stuff pile. Okay. And then let's see, what did we get from this box? We got, I guess let's start with the Ultras, the Gold Pride Eradicator, Lightsworn Dragonling, Ties That Bind, Saphira, we got a Ragnarika, the Future Silence, and the QCR Nightmare Apprentice, which is beautiful. That's just, I love the QCR stuff. The special rarity foiling that Yu-Gi-Oh does, I think, is actually unmatched for foiling in other card games. Pokemon does beautiful alt arts, which, I mean, who's complaining about that? Magic does, it stole some foiling from Pokemon recently, and the Galaxy foiling that they did, which was good, because the Galaxy foiling is beautiful. Box 3, which I just opened off camera, but let's try it anyway. What was I saying? Magic's foils suck. They just suck, and they're boring. They're all pretty much the same type of foiling. They try other things, and they just don't look very good. Let's move this down a little bit. Oh, there we go. You can see the Nightmare Apprentice. Okay. Box 3. What do we got? The Jungle Dweller. A reframe. I'm just going to start putting the cards that I'm going to play all in one pile. So we've got the no pile and the yes pile. I think the really interesting thing is just like I was saying earlier, so many of the commons in this set are just good. Oh, Cellatrice Philmonica. While you control a monster, except your opponent's. Okay, you can only use each of the following effects of, if this card is normal or pendulum summoned, you can add one Velmonica card from your deck to your hand. Except this card is sent to the graveyard and you have 2 Velmonica cards in your pendulum zones, you can add this card to your hand. Wow, that's crazy. I guess I should put a sleeve on that and put it in the ultra pile, huh? I have no intention of playing Velmonica stuff, but this card is just disgusting. What on earth? Apparently Velmonica is pretty good. I mean, what's beating Snake Eye, but also, you know, it can't be that bad. Chain Coils, Gotcha, Couplet. Oh, wow, yep. See? Lots of good commons in this set. Concerto, Ashen, oh, Stag Sovereign, a Link 5. If a monster is special summoned from your opponent's deck and or extra deck, you can destroy 2 monsters on the field. Wow. If this card is in your graveyard, special summon this card, also you're not special. Wow, okay. Still has all the link climbing stuff of just being able to bring itself back, and it's also kind of an end board lock piece. That's pretty good. Maybe that can, you know, if they print enough good insects, plants, or reptiles, it doesn't matter that you're locked into insects, plants, and reptiles. The deck can still be crazy. Shaman, Gotcha, Tempai Dragon, Cyclos, Lizardos. See if we can maybe get a Nightmare thrown in this box. I need myself some Yubel cards. Ooh, another Enlightenment Dragon. I really like Yubel cards. I really like Yubel. GX is around when I started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! So, ooh, look at this. But, I mean, I watched the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. I wasn't playing the game at the time. This card is awesome. If you control Shining Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can pay half your life points to destroy as many other cards on the field as possible. And if you do, banish them. Special summon one level 7 or lower monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus from your deck. And increase this level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect. That is interesting. I don't know why they care about increasing levels, given that they count someone from the extra deck. Maybe there's like an interaction with the Silent Swordsman part of the archetype that makes that good. do not know. I do not know. I do not know why that card, why they're adjusting levels. Maybe we'll find out as I open this case and hopefully pull everything in the set. And enough Tenpai Dragon stuff to feed 2, maybe 3 Tenpai Dragon players. Put them into the world. Sangen Kaiman, Soma. At this point, we're gonna go faster because we've seen basically everything. Except for some ultras and secrets. Bam, 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 bam. Ooh, yes. More Lightsworn ultras. This card also just crazy. When it's synchroed, you get to send Lightsworn monsters from your deck with different types from your deck to the graveyard, up to the number of Lightsworn monsters that you use as material for this card, which is already insane. And then you can banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your graveyard and send that many cards from your deck to the graveyard. Like, that's just an insane effect, and it's generic. So you can make it with anything, although you should make it with Lightsworn monsters so that you can dump more Lightsworn monsters, which I think is a quite good design. Another Ties That Bind. Let's just throw that in a sleeve. We've already got 4 ultras in this box. It's pretty good. And the Gandora G, the Dragon of Destruction, the face card of the set. I want to see more of this Silent Swordsman stuff so I can really understand what the Shining Sarcophagus archetype is all about. Battleguard Echoes. Because, as it stands, I have basically no idea. More Dandy White Lines. I feel like I'm gonna have Dandy White Lines in my collection for years to come. This card just seems like it is that. Be a little more diligent about the stash here. More stuff. We got Simple Spoils Struggle. How many ultras even are there in this set? Ah, another Pydra. Yes, we'll put that on the sleeve now pile because this card is, again, stupid expensive for what it is. But it kind of makes sense because the entire deck is common, so people are like, it's going to be cheap, so they go and buy it, and then they have everything. Oh, another Void Burial. 5 ultras in this box. That's a lot of ultras. It's very good. And I kind of want a playset of the Void Burials because I think it's a really interesting hand trap. I don't know if it's going to be good, but I will be trying it out. Turn Silence. This is that one from before. That's right. The one where I was like, oh, this stops Nibiru. Which is immediately like, maybe this deck is good. But also, the combos have to be good for the deck to be good, and I don't know if the combos are good. Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs really just fall apart. See, it's funny because Pokemon has the opposite problem, where Pokemon packs have become too strong, and they're actually difficult to open. I'm gonna put this in the keep pile again. More Tenpai stuff. All right, what do we got? Ashen, Ah, this is the Battle Guard Echoes card. Combos with that, which is interesting. Probably bad, but interesting. It could also just be like a little package where you like play that in some Earth Warrior themed deck. I don't know. The problem is it's like, it's always an extender. Another copy of Future Silence. A card that is potentially insane. I mean, see, it's already going to be good because it's just a Rhoda on its own. And then you get to choose like when it's good for you to fill up to 6, right? Then you get to choose to do it. Like, I can imagine going second, right? You burn through all of your opponent's negates, and then you add a monster that you add like Gandora G, and then you draw 5 cards because you draw up to 6 and you've already added a monster. You draw 5 cards, and then you get to like nuke their board, and you have 5 more cards in your hand, which, like, I don't know. It seems decent. I think Yu-Gi-Oh players in the modern era are kind of risk averse. They don't like these board breaker decks. But board breaker decks may be better. You know, like, or you get hand ripped by, you know, Snake Eye. They've only got the one Omni Negate, or it's not even an Omni Negate. They have no Omni Negates, so you like, you get to find this. You have a ton of ways to find this card. The more I think about it, the more interesting it gets. Okay, I really liked this box. I like all the Shining Sarcophagus stuff way more than I thought I was going to. This set is very cool. I kind of love it. All right, we have time for another box right now. It's time to, no, okay.